Hi everybody, my name is Essie Graham. I'm EPG Photography, and today I'm going to do a project using a product called ArtResin. ArtResin is a two-part epoxy clear coating, and is made by the people at ArtResin.com. They contacted me about a week or so ago and wanted me to do a review using their product so we can get the word out to other artists and other people that might want to use this. This product is really great. It's easy to use. It comes, like I said, this is a 32-ounce starter kit. And it's, like I said, it's two parts. There is the resin, and then there's the hardener. And you mix it basically 1-to-1. So today I'm just going to start and show you how I use the product. I'm going to start with a 6x6 cradle panel. And my print, which is printed on red rubber metallic paper. And basically the way I mount it is, a lot of people have different ways of doing it, but this is how I do it. I actually take the print and I put it down. Okay. The next thing I want to do is take a piece of plastic and I cover the print. I take my brayer and I just go over the print very lightly. And this way I get rid of any air bubbles. I use a archivable photo safe spray adhesive to do this. So the next thing I want to do is I want to trim all the excess paper. So I take a razor blade and I go around and I trim. I don't want any of the photograph paper over the edge. I want it to seem like it's actually either painted on there or it's just one complete piece. Okay, after I do that, then I take there's a fine sandpaper, and I just want to go around the edges to make sure I take care of anything and make it even with the board. Now I may get a little scratches around the edges, but don't worry about that, because once I pour the ArtResin will fill that in. Now the ArtResin is low VOC, there's no fumes, you don't need to have a respirator, and best of all, it has chemicals added to protect it from yellowing. In other words, you get all of the products, the products from having it framed without having the glass in the frame there. So that looks good. And so for now, I want to, like I said, I want to make sure this blends in. So I take a paint pen or a marker and I go around the edges. And I want to use a soft brush and take off all the dirt. Okay, I got everything set up and ready to mix. The first thing you need to know about mixing ArtResin is you got to know the size of your piece. Right now I'm using a 6x6, and I went out and I created a kind of a chart for me to show me that I'm doing a 6x6. I need 2 ounces. Now that's 2 ounces total. That's 1 ounce of hardener and 1 ounce of resin. So right now I'm going to start with the resin. like paper towels so I can clean up and reseal. And then I'm going to do my ounce of hardener. So now that I poured my resin, I'm going to start my timer, and I'm just going to mix it for about 3 minutes. And I want to make sure I scrape all the sides, and you just mix and you. Okay, so I've got my stuff mixed, and now I'm getting ready to pour. Like I said, if you need to know how much art resin to use, you can go to www.artresin.com and go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and there's a usage calculator. And all you do is type in the size of the picture that you're doing, and it'll calculate how much resin you need in gallons and in ounces. So what I do is I use you need a spreader, and you get these from ArtResin.com also. And basically I start pouring, and I start going from the center out. And I want to make sure I spread it so that all of my edges are covered. So the main thing is to make sure you mix it 1-to-1, and you mix it very, very well. The resin itself as art is self-leveling, so make sure that your piece that you're doing is leveled. Because if it's not, you're going to have a mistake. If by some reason it doesn't come out right the first time, all you do is take a little, some real fine sandpaper and sand it down just a little bit, because that gives the resin tooth to grab a hold, and recoat. The other thing you need to watch out for is you got to watch out for dust. So I really don't care right now if some goes over the side, because I want to make sure it's covered. I know the first time I used resin, I got in a hurry and I kind of messed the piece up. So it take, first couple of times, once you take your time, you'll get a beautiful product. And the people at ArtResin.com are so helpful. If you have a problem or if you have a question, you email them or message them, and they'll respond really, really fast. Also, if you order anything from the website, shipping is free, which is a plus. Because they have bigger kits. They have a small starter kit, a 32-ounce kit, and it goes up from there. And with free shipping on some of the heavier stuff, that works. Since they have a distribution center in Farmers Branch, so I live in Plano. So if I order my stuff by a certain time, I get it the next day, FedEx, which is also pretty cool. You can also find it in Azo Art Supply. I believe they're trying to get it into Michael's, but since they're so close, I just order mine off the website and I get it the next day. And this stuff is wonderful. It really, really complements your artwork, and it makes it pop. So if you want to take your artwork to the next level, I highly recommend that you get some art resin and start playing around with it. Okay, so it looks like it's about. Okay, I'm checking right now to make sure that all of my edges are covered. Okay, since I use a disposable cup, I don't really have to clean that. But I do need to clean off my spreader. So that I can reuse it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the air bubbles that are there. Sometimes they say they pop on their own, but I found out that I need, you need a little torch and just basically lightly go over the piece. On the website, you can also find, they sell a torch also. A lot of people think that heat guns work, but I like the torch better because it's non-flammable. So you can't really set anything on fire. You can burn it, yes, but it won't start a fire, which is another plus. Also, they have chemicals in the ArtResin that keeps it from yellowing, which is a big plus. And like I said, it really, really makes your artwork come alive. Okay, so I'm just going to check for missing bubbles, and I got some. Okay, and what I like to do is while I'm getting ready to cover it up, I like to let it sit for a little while, and then I'll check it. I'm putting this paper down because I reuse my dust covers. So it keeps them from sticking from them, so I can reuse the boxes again, which you will need. Okay. So I'm going to check it. I'll probably check it again in about 10 minutes. From the time you mix the resin, you have about 30 minutes before it goes bad on you to get it down and get it on your piece. So you got a little bit of time to play with it a little bit and make sure that you do it only once. Because I like to go for the one coat, just one coat of it. If I have to and sand it down, I'll add another thin coat. But I like to just go with one coat. So I see some more little. And that's it. So now I'm going to do my cover. And I make these boxes. I put a clear cover on top because one time I tried to do it and put a dust cover on top, and I actually knocked a piece off. So what I do is I'll just set this down over the box, and that's pretty much how I use ArtResin.